Welcome to Transformation Conversations. Welcome back, family, and welcome to our new subscribers and viewers. Well, let's get into this thing tonight. We are going to be talking about uncommon. Most often, when we hear people say uncommon, it's something that we don't often see. So, how uncommon are some of us? And do we even strive to be uncommon? Well, before we dive into that, I want to say thank you for joining us. General housekeeping, if you have not already, please go and hit that bell to subscribe, like, and share this with a friend. We are here at the Transformation Conversation YouTube channel to discuss and come together so we can travel through the complexities of life with professional and personal development. So, our discussion tonight in episode number 7 is titled Uncommon. So, when I think of uncommon again, it's something that we do not often see. So, how uncommon are we? You know, what do we need to do to be uncommon? Do we want to be uncommon? Do we want to be like everyone else and most people? I don't. So what actions do we need to take to be uncommon? Even our professional and our personal lives. Because we want uncommon, unheard of, extraordinary results when we're going at our task and trying to achieve our goals. But do we know what's required to achieve said goals? Are we willing to do those things that aren't often done to get those unheard of results? Are you ready to be uncommon? Are you ready to manage and manifest and multiply the uncommon results you're looking for? Ooh, this is a good one. And are you ready to travel in uncommon circles? Because we cannot be extraordinary and in that top 1% if we're still traveling in our comfort zone, circling around in the same circles that we found comfort in. We become stagnant and we find our excuses where we co-sign our choices not to move forward. Are you ready to travel in uncommon circles? Because I know most of us here are not comfortable with uncommon. It takes a lot of dedication. It's a real decision to be uncommon. So what do we do if this is something that's going to be on our to-do list, one of our obtainable goals? What do we do? A lot of us don't know. We have dreams and aspirations. We can almost taste it because we relive the dreams so often in our minds. But what we don't really put a lot of emphasis on is what is it going to take to make that happen. We're very uncomfortable with realizing that extraordinary thing, that uncommon ability, it requires work. And some of us don't want to go through anything. That evolution, that increase, that requires work. It takes time and effort for the old you, your old thought processes, your limited belief systems. That all takes time to fall away and be reprogrammed because uncommon doesn't happen overnight. Extraordinary just doesn't pop up without will and effort. So, how close are you to becoming uncommon? Let me tell you, I have been on quite a journey, quite the journey. Am I telling you I have all the answers and experiences with uncommon? Absolutely not, because I'd be lying to you if I said I did. But what I do know is the things that I've been willing to do, the things that I've had to push through, see past, and sit quiet with. Yes, uncommon requires us to be still and be quiet sometimes. And that tests our discipline. So what I'm going to talk about is What is distracting us from being uncommon? How close are we or far away are we? And what has our efforts and our beliefs in a chokehold? I think the most common strangulation of our dreams is fear. That is the biggest dream killer, is fear. And I came to realize, just in my own life experiences, over a few years, this did not happen overnight. I had to realize that I had become the wicked warden. I was my own wicked warden. I had imprisoned myself in my thoughts and what I thought people thought, or what I thought the process was, or what I thought that I could or could not do. I had imprisoned myself in the could not, should not, you bet not, type of situation. And I held the keys to free myself. And for a long time, I walked around jiggling those keys, complaining about being a prisoner. And all the while, I had the tools to free myself. And I think a lot of us are jiggling keys. But if we just stop to take the moment to see that we have the tools to pick and choose, it's just that when we choose, we can't sit back and point the finger at other people. When we choose, we make these decisions. It requires us to follow our words with action and effort and resources. We have to be willing to invest in ourselves, whether it's a course, education, a mentor, a coach. We will spend money on a plethora of things. But as far as advancing and developing ourselves, I don't see a large number of people doing that. Oh, but we'll put that money up and splurge and take ourselves on the vacation that we feel we deserve. Yeah, because we deserve this trip. Oh, we talk ourselves into and out of plenty, but we don't talk ourselves into believing that we're worth the price that we need to pay to advance ourselves and develop professionally and personally, to build ourselves to be better people, to give more, do more, be better, and do better. So these are the things that hold us back from being uncommon. These are the chains that chain us along the chain gang with everybody else, making us all the same in the basic trials of life. So what are we going to do to be uncommon? What is that thing that you're shying away from, that you think um, isn't worth it, or that you think somebody's not going to believe in? We have to take stock in our own thought processes and how we think about ourselves, how we think about what we're capable of doing. Because what you're saying to yourself is what you will believe, and that will become your energy, and it will be your truth. So be mindful of the words you use when you're thinking about placing yourself on a path of success, placing yourself in the position to sit at different tables. See, the table does not come to you. You have to go to it. And when you get to the table, you either pull out a chair and sit down. If it's standing room only, stand up, own your place, take your place on stage, believe in what you see and what you feel. Now, if you don't believe and you good with being basic and chain gang with everybody else on the basic trials of life, that is your decision. Live there. But for those of us who want more, for those of us that feel that energy consistently moving around, trying to find its way to the outside, then this discussion is going to require you to spend some time to dig deep, self-reflect, to strategize, plan, and then implement. Equip yourself with the tools for you to move forward and to graduate into different spaces. Any space that you move into, you are not meant to stay there forever. Nothing you do is meant for you to be there forever. So give yourself grace to be in certain spaces. While you're in those spaces, take advantage of resources and information that you can gain that's going to be stepping stones for you to go to the next level. Take evolution with you. On the next level, there will be more experiences, more people. Will they all be great experiences for you to sit back and chuckle and sip a glass of champagne and talk about? Sure. But will they all feel good during the process? Most likely not. Because anything that you do, you're going to learn from it if you pay attention. But it never said it's going to feel good. I have gone through a lot of phases and stages on my journey that were so painful that it could have cost me more than I was willing to pay. But I persevered. It was not easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. But what I did have to embrace is that I was worth every bit of effort it took for me to pick myself up and push myself forward. I'm excited about the things that are happening in my life. Am I where I want to be? No, I'm not. Am I closer than I was last year or 2 years prior? Abso-freaking-lutely, baby. I am on my way. See, provision has been made for me. We're promised the things and the desires of our hearts. You just have to go and get it. And of those of you that don't believe that, again, attach yourself to whatever is going to work for you. But for those of us who want uncommon results, extraordinary experiences to actually bring our powers that's in our dreams and bring that into fruition and walk in and live in what we see for ourselves. This conversation is about that. How do we learn to rewrite our stories? How do we retrain ourselves from our upbringing, which turns into our belief system, which turns into our prescription on how we see the world? So, my question is, do you want uncommon results? If not, I'm so happy you took the time to even listen this far into the discussion. If you don't, there's nothing wrong with that. But for those of us that do, we will continue on to discover, are we believing in ourselves enough to be uncommon? Do we believe that we have been called to be uncommon? Will we embrace it? And as you embrace what you see for yourself, how do you see your new uncommon self? You have to describe what that new you looks like. If you can't envision that life of the new you, the extraordinary you that's on the other side of fear, that has pushed past and made choices, made decisions to do the uncommon work, to do the tasks that don't feel so good, to have your circles change. They will shift because as you go through different phases of your life, I promise you, your circles are going to change. And a lot of us fall subject to being comfortable in those enclosed, encapsulated places and spaces. For me, I am claustrophobic. I will not be held into a box. I will not be boxed in and held back. I cannot, I can't maneuver. I can't manifest. I can't grow in those spaces. So, how much do you want for yourself? And what are you willing to do it? This is a part of a journey called rewriting your story. If you want to be uncommon, you want to experience living inside your dreams, you want to see what it feels like to push past fear and go through those tough moments, go through the pressing, because as we advance, we are being tested. And yes, it's just like buying a house. When I bought my first home, and my broker told me, he said, listen, I was complaining about, hey, they keep asking me for this stuff. I already submitted it. And he said, Gayl, it's hoop time. It's hoop time. I'm 1,000% sure they already have what you sent them. But they just want to see how bad you want it. And you want that house. So I'm quite sure you've already faxed all that information over. So I'm dating myself, because who's faxing anymore? We got DocuSign, we got all this other stuff that we can do to sign documents. But every part of our life has hoop time. It's how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How much is that energy trying to break through in you? Because you're going to face that energy one way or another. You're going to greet it, you're going to talk to it and work with it to manifest it and give it life. You're going to birth that energy and that part of yourself into the world. I'm not telling you, it's like giving birth. You go through the contractions and they hurt like hell. But at the end of the day, you don't even remember those contractions when you hold that baby. So are you going to give life to what's waiting for you? Because you will greet that energy. Either you're going to tussle with it and fight with it every single day that it's trying to break free and come out, or you're going to work with it and learn from it and let it teach you, along with other tools that you can equip yourself with, on how to set it free and how to embrace that energy and apply it. Because some of these energies are your best ideas. Some of this energy inside of you are your dreams that can be realized into successful businesses. How do you embrace and rewrite your story? Because the first step is to embrace where you are right now, your story, and looking forward and trying to understand, or at least make the choice that you have to make a choice. Understand you have to make a choice to move forward, or keep fighting with that thing. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to keep fighting with it, my heart goes out to you. But if you want to walk in and step inside of that part of you, that you have the authority and the power to cultivate and develop into the you that you want to be, then we'll continue to have this discussion next week when we talk about learning to talk to ourselves. So I try not to keep you long. I've enjoyed coming and talking about this tonight, because this is very near and dear to my heart, because I too am continuously going through these new phases of life, and I am learning something new about life and about myself along the way. I am continuing to transform. I am forever a student. I will forever emerge a new butterfly with every stage of my life. So I hope that you embrace this conversation. You've enjoyed this quick moment that we had together this week. Join me back next week on the what is next week? The 24th. Join me next week on the 24th of July as we talk about learning to talk. Learning to talk and how to talk to our new selves. Learn to talk to that energy that we're about to break free. Listen, I love you all. I thank you so much for coming on here tonight to Transformation Conversations. If you want to do this thing real time, face to face, guess what? I have a monthly networking event every month at the end of the month in the Central Florida area. So follow me, get the details in the description on how to follow me on social media and in my business. You can find links to my networking events. It's through partnership with Woman to Woman Network. I have courses coming up, and of course, you already know. A Rewrite Your Story course is going to take place in August, and it is going to be a 4-week course of learning how to embrace the new you and how do you learn you all over again and rewrite your story. So I will have that information also down in the description. Follow me on social media. Go to my website. I am the founder and CEO at Premier Consulting CFL. You can find us. The link to the website is on the webpage. So again, thank you for joining us for episode 7. 77777 it is my lucky number. It is the 17th of July, and I'm so glad that we had this time together tonight. Let's transform together. Come back next week. Like and subscribe to this thing. Share it with a friend. Bring your people back next week, and we'll talk about talking. Let's learn how to talk to ourselves on episode 8. So I will see you all next week. Have a fantastic week. Love you. Bye.